listen to the show and peep what these dudes bring. If you didn't know, it's an orange and blue thing. Hope to win the championship and a few rings. We're talking baseball. It's an orange and blue thing. Walk off if the game's tied like shoestrings. It's a Mets podcast, orange and blue thing. Beat the other team with defense and a few swings. LFGM, it's an orange and blue thing.
What's up, Mets fans? Happy Thursday, a special Thursday show this week of Orange and Blue Thing. Back from vacation. I was in Puerto Rico for a few days for my wife's, for Mother's Day and my daughter's birthday. So shout out to them. Shout out to you guys for checking in on a Thursday. 7 straight, feeling great. What's up, Julia?
Oh, it feels so nice. It's such a different world since the last time we sat in these seats.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What an eventful week.
Things change quick around here, right?
For real. Whew.
Yeah, 7 straight. Mets are 18-13, 1 up on Philly, 3.5 games up on Atlanta. They're off to Tampa this weekend. Seven's great, but I would love to have 10 straight.
Yeah.
Checking in on Monday's episode.
It reminds me a lot of, was it an 11 or 12 game winning streak in 2015, early 2015?
You know what? I'll take it for May because they usually get off to a hot start in April.
Yeah.
May and June usually suck.
That's why I'm holding my breath for June. I have such PTSD from June. I can't remember the last time they've had a good June. But I'm riding this high. If they can keep this going, I'll have a little more faith that maybe the cycle has been broken, but we'll see.
Well, not only that,
it's still May.
They're also doing this without Nimmo, without JD Davis, without Luis Guillorme,
and without DeGrom.
Without DeGrom, who knows? Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Without Lugo and Cookie and Noah should be coming back. In a month or whatever it is. So
love to see it.
I saw someone tweet. I don't know who it was. Something about like they're doing all this without like hot bats yet. They're getting it together. They beat up on your boy Harvey a little bit yesterday. We'll get to that in a little bit. But like the bats are coming alive. Lindor is hitting over 200.
I know.
Is, cause for celebration here, right?
Where's the chant? There we go.
Lindor is hitting 202, I think. Something around there, but at least he's over the 200 mark. So hello to everyone in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. Special Thursday show. Mets are off today, so let's catch up on the last few days.
Is it another off day?
Another off day.
God.
But it's fine. The boys were drinking wine.
No, I know. They're fine. I'm just like, I feel like they have so many like multiple off days in 1 week.
Yeah.
Which is just so annoying considering how many games have been canceled. Like, I wouldn't mind if they didn't have like 7 games canceled already this season, but it's like, come on, let's just keep playing. But whatever.
I put it up last night. I wrote something, and I worded it really weird. I wrote something like the Mets have the least amount of losses in the National League.
Right.
And I worded it weird, but they do. But and then I also followed up with
they've played the least amount of games. Yeah.
But if you factor in their over 500, they've played 5 less games. My mic is low. Thank
you, Lizzie.
Thanks for Lizzie. Thanks to Lizzie for the little note in the background here. They've played less games, but if you factor in like the difference, they've played 5 less. They're up 5 games. Over 500.
They're doing great.
Everything's looking good. They're also 11-4 at home.
I know.
So come on.
I saw Disha posted something yesterday. I can't remember the exact stat, but it was something like the last time the Mets had a 5-0 homestand was, I think it was 2015. Part of that win streak they had, and Matt Harvey won 2 of those games. That stung. But
so shout out to Columbus, Ohio, checking in, Virginia checking in, Flushing, Queens, Fort Drum, New York, U.S. Army. Shout out to Alex Nazario. Thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you, Alex.
Hofstra University in the house. Shouty. That is Shouty. Hofstra University. Texas in the house. We got a bunch of people checking in. I met some friends down in Puerto Rico a couple of days ago. I doubt they're watching. They're Yankee fans, but they're from Jersey. So it was funny. Like a lot of people at the resort are from all over the place. And we were talking about before we went live about quarantining and so on and so forth. New Hampshire, we met these kids in the pool. Amelia was playing, and they have to quarantine for 2 weeks after the vacation.
Oh,
so
wow.
Now the kid is now basically out of school for like 3 weeks to go on vacation for a week.
That's all. I mean, kids are Amelia's age, so they're young.
A little older.
Oh, okay. But if it's elementary school, you're young enough, you can get away with that. I'd say go for it. But that's hard. Like if you're a high school student, like missing 2 weeks is like lethal at that age.
Right.
So go for it.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, luckily we didn't have to, and Puerto Rico is very safe as far as like the rules. Like, you had to show a PCR test just to get in.
Right.
And then,
even if you're vaccinated.
Yeah. Because like our vaccination cards or whatever the Excelsior pass we have on our phone doesn't work there. So,
true.
So the PCR test, which is kind of pain in the ass. Like we already went through the system of getting our shots.
Well, did you see what's going on with the Yankees?
Yeah.
They got 3 players on their team who were fully vaccinated who still tested positive for COVID. So it happens. I mean, it's very rare. It's no reason to not get vaccinated if you were thinking of getting vaccinated.
Rare, but isn't it kind of crazy that they're all on the same team? They're all getting it. It's not like
I know.
That's crazy.
I know. But I think it's also what they're saying is like they're all, and I could be wrong, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure they said they're like all completely asymptomatic. And the person who has symptoms, it's like very minimal.
Right.
So they're saying it is supposed to help if you do get it. Like you're going to have a way less severe experience, most likely. I'm not a doctor. I'm just reading like you are.
We're being reckless by any means. Well,
no.
I missed kind of all that with the Yankees until last night when I was trying to play catch up after I got home. But, not that we're being reckless by any means, but after the 2 weeks passed after our shots, we kind of did loosen up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like we were super strict.
As you should. That's what doctors are telling you to do. Yeah, I know. You guys were.
Easter. We didn't do anything. We didn't do any holidays with family.
Yeah.
We wanted to, but we didn't do anything. We just stayed in our own little bubble in our house and did our thing. And outdoors was a different story. Like we visited my family, my parents in Queens, and we'd hang out on the deck and stuff. But like I didn't go in my childhood home for over a year.
Yeah.
I just didn't want it. Like I'm like, listen, well, you can follow rules, stay outside. They're both older. And I cared more about them than us.
Absolutely.
I didn't know anyone. No, I take that back. I shouldn't say I don't know anyone because like Anthony Causey was obviously taken from this horrible disease. But besides Anthony, I didn't hear of many younger people my age dying from this. So I wasn't as concerned for me. I was more concerned for them. So, but anyway, Puerto Rico, you'd walk in, every single spot had temperature checks and hand sanitizer like at the door. Like you
That's awesome.
And signs everywhere that says if you're not wearing your mask, you can get a ticket. So I didn't see anyone like get hassled, but you walk down the streets and every single person had a mask on. You go in Patchogue right now, people aren't wearing masks on the sidewalk.
I know.
You wear them when you enter in the building.
People are also recognizing, you're in a resort, you're in a tourist area. Don't ruin it for everybody else. Just follow the rules.
Follow the rules.
Follow the rules.
As we've been saying on the show, follow the rules. Shout out to the Cabo Man checking in the chat. He's watching on Facebook.
Oh.
Shout out to him. I saw he was out there at the game last Saturday, and I had to miss it because I got a ticket to sit in the section, which again, I wasn't really calling them outings, but whatever. They are what they are. Games that we have the option to purchase.
Sure.
And I bought a ticket. I ended up selling it to, who did I sell it to? Ramiro, another member. But did you see Lindor doing the strikeout chant with the crew?
Oh my God, I did see that video. Yeah. That was amazing.
So if you haven't seen it yet, I didn't cue it up here, but I guess Lindor, that was his first experience of us being out there besides opening day.
Right.
And maybe opening day, the hoopla and the sounds of the section of the building being a little bit louder than maybe it was on Saturday. Maybe he didn't notice it or didn't take part. But he didn't do the whole thing. But in the beginning, he definitely had his arm out.
He's getting his feet wet. He's new. We got to give him a couple outings to figure out the rhythm. But no, that's awesome.
Let's talk about that chant for a second because we get shit on for like stealing the chant from the king, which we've always given credit to where it came from.
Every single time it's publicly mentioned, you're always like, okay, but we didn't make this up.
Right. So Mike the King, let's say it again. So unless anyone missed it the first 20 times we talked about it, sits in the upper deck. He holds the he for like a minute.
I can't keep up with him. And I don't have the lung capacity. I don't know how he does it.
Do you ever remember when like Indart's not leading it and he has to be he's in the bathroom or whatever, and I do it, I hold it longer and everyone gets mad at me.
I know, it's chaotic. It's like, well, whatever. With that many people and like going so many rows back, it's like if you do something too long, you're not going to keep everyone together. I feel like it's a smaller group up there but whatever. He could have never been a smoker because I don't know how he'd have the lung capacity. But
so Mike the King keeps score. He sits in the upper deck. He sits with his crew. He travels around. He does a bunch of baseball games, like minor league and everything. But he started it. It traveled through the Citi Field Chase.
Yes.
And then it went to the 7-Line Army, and now we do it out in center field. But all credit to the King. That's where it came from. That's where it came from. Mindy checking in the chat. She sits near Mike, and she can't hold it for that long either.
Thank you, Mindy.
Yeah, Mike Cassiano from 515. Shout out to Mike Meehan. Oh, Meehan, we're all over the map right now.
That's fine by me. Hi, Mike.
Mike Meehan, I want to let you know that the Pride Caps will be coming back. So if you guys know what the Pride Caps are about, last year we did the Pride Caps the first time. They are here in the building. What's up, Lizzie? My mic is weird. I don't know why.
Why is it always? Oh, I kind of hear it in my
Is it
headphones, I
raspy?
think. Yeah.
Hope-
I
Well,
thought it was just my earphones.
it's not my voice. Let me lower it a little bit. Maybe it was a little too loud because people said I was too low. I don't know. I'm going to keep going here. But Mike Meehan worked with us last year to raise money for the Ali Forney Center. If I'm saying that incorrectly, please let me know in the chat, Mike. But we donated 100, all the profits. So we buy the hats, we sell them, and every cent goes to
Amazing.
Ali Forney Center. And they sold out in like a second.
I know. I couldn't get one. I remember I tried.
So what we did this year was I think we did 3 times as many as we did in the first time.
Awesome.
So Darren, my mic is fuzzy. I heard. I'm trying my best here. So those caps are back, and I believe we are going to restock them next week.
Awesome.
So if you guys are interested in that, check out our site. It's up now as a coming soon item. So all you got to do, there's a button on every listing on the site. If you see something that's sold out or coming soon, there's a button that says notify when available. Click that, and that's how you'll be notified whenever we get them back in stock.
Perfect.
So people are giving me some suggestions here in the comments about my.
It's just like a vacation hangover show.
You know what? Let's give a shout out to the Indarts again, because if you watched the show last week basically was like a wedding recap.
It really could have been like season 1, episode 1, Indart Wedding Podcast. Yeah. It was hardly anything Mets related.
If you weren't invited or you don't even know who they are, you still went because you got home and you still got to hear some stories. I'm hoping that this is not going to be an issue the whole time. So let me fuck around with the little settings here for a second.
I think I'm hearing what they're hearing in my ears, and it's not terrible. It's just
hear us through here.
Yeah.
They hear us through here, there, and then the computer.
Okay, I don't want to hear what you're hearing then.
Yeah, and it is the Ali Forney Center. Shout out to Mike Meehan for confirming.
Perfect.
In the comments. What do we call them? The fact checkers?
Yes, our fact checkers.
Our commenters.
It's amazing.
Checkers. We are live. What's up? What? How
should we share a mic? Sorry, should I back up to even it out? All right, sorry, I'm screaming apparently. Oh God,
right, I don't know. Now Lizzie's saying I'm a whisper. I don't know.
Just turn that shit up. If it's fuzzy, it's fuzzy.
Hopefully you guys can hear. Well, Mike must be able to hear me because he confirmed as the fact checker in the comments.
Maybe he's just really good at listening to whisper.
I don't know. That's horrible though.
We're off to a hot start.
We are off to a hot start. You know who else is off to a hot start?
Love this transition. Tell me.
Salicata blocked the 7 line. Why is this so funny?
I thought you were gonna go with like a Mets player who was hitting well or a pitcher who was doing well. Salicata, I was not ready for that.
Who claimed to want to quit Twitter 5 times already. Blocked the 7 line account on Twitter on Friday night. Was Friday night the raccoon?
Yes.
Is it still bad? Yeah.
Friday night was the raccoon.
I don't think it's the microphone. I think it has something to do with this area over here. No, because it's never been the mic yet. So I'm gonna just keep it going, I guess. People can hear it. I mean, they're answering in the comments here about the fact checkers.
Lizzie, I appreciate you.
It's that bad?
Yeah, you're like
really? How is that possible? I didn't touch anything. If you're watching, stay tuned. Lizzie's just trying to enjoy the show, and she says I'm ruining it for her.
Oh my gosh.
Hear me. But nothing changed in here, and I think it's too late for us to try to figure anything else like that out. Hopefully it gets better. Mike Tang says you're okay. They can hear us.
All right, it's a struggle bus show. It's fine. We've had a few of those already.
It shouldn't be though, because I didn't touch anything.
You did sit in this seat though. You took my seat and lowered it, and maybe that just threw off all the juju.
Everyone says they can hear me just fine. I think it's Lizzie's computer. So anyway, Salicata blocked the 7 line on Twitter.
Okay. Yeah, why?
Sal, for some reason, feels like there's this beef between us. I don't know why. I don't agree with a lot of what he does and says on the internet, but I know that that's his job.
But I also I know a lot of people who you have beef with. I have never heard you mention his name before. This is so random.
Because it's not a big deal to me. But
yeah, I don't think there's anything going on.
I don't agree with same with Martino. I don't agree with a lot of what Martino writes on the internet, but I understand that.
Leave Andy alone.
I understand that everyone has a certain line and certain avenue and a certain way that they want to portray their takes. And if Sal wants to be loud on the TV and him and Moose are going at it on whatever the baseball night or whatever it is, that's his, I don't know, persona. I'm not saying it's a shtick,
right?
But he wrote something and I retweeted it saying, the next question should be something about the raccoon or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought the whole thing was crazy, like really stupid. I know this is like almost like a week late now because we didn't have a show on Monday, but if I was a baseball player, I probably wouldn't have went about it the same way as Lindor.
Really?
I wouldn't have made up a weird story.
I feel differently, but
what's between us, we're boys and, guys don't always agree. And, what I would have maybe handled it a little bit differently.
Okay.
But the way that they went about it was what they did, and it should have been kind of like over with.
Sure.
I feel like the media made more of a big deal about it because they weren't getting the answers they wanted to hear. Like David Off and all these other guys were like asking the same question
over and over again,
10 different ways.
Yeah.
They got the same response and they were like angry about it.
Yeah.
So like I had some response, like he called me like, oh, that's what started it. I take it back. This is what started it. He goes, you're just some fanboy, whatever. And I wrote back like, hey, if SNY doesn't work out, you can always get a job at TMZ. And then he sent me a direct message like, that's rude or whatever. I'm like, dude, you called him a fanboy. Yeah. And I'm like, let's back up here. Like, how am I being disrespectful? Like, I'm replying to you saying you're just a fan. Basically, like, I agree with everything the team does because I'm a fanboy. Give me a break.
Which is very much not true, but okay.
Right, whatever. So then the next morning, I realized I'm blocked. So now I am on the list of people who are blocked by Salicata.
I mean, you think
I'm not blocked by Marcus Stroman, but I am blocked by Salicata.
the next tier. But you would think somebody who works in sports media like that would have thicker skin, especially if they're going to give it first and not be able to take it. I don't get it. Very bizarre.
Let me read it to you. Let me read you this DM because
pull out the receipts. Let's go.
Because it's crazy.
That's insane.
I don't even know if it's going to come up now because I turned off my Wi-Fi so we have stronger Wi-Fi on the show because hopefully it helps make our mics work better. Which
apparently not.
He started it off with, you're always taking shots at me, is what he wrote. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We see things differently. That's fine, is what he said. He said, yeah, TMZ meaning caring more about needing every detail instead of the obvious. Like Moose said something too. Don't insult our intelligence. Did anyone really think that story was real? It was like so far-fetched that no one would think that story was real.
But not. I have two responses.
It would insult my intelligence that you think that what he was saying was real and portraying that on SNY back to us like we're dumb.
Right.
Like we're not dumb. He was joking.
Yeah, and everyone knows that. And but here's the thing, and here's where I disagree with you slightly, and that I think Lindor handled it perfectly, honestly and sincerely, because had Lindor said anything, like even just like, yes, something happened, but we squashed it, we're fine now. Sure. They're still going to keep asking the same question in 10 different ways about, oh, well, what happened? Was anything physical? Why does Jeff McNeil look like he has a blood? Like, they wouldn't have stopped at that.
Let's answer that, though. Do you think he got punched?
No, I don't think he did. I don't see Lindor punching someone. I can see, Jeff McNeil has called himself a hothead. I could see them getting in like a screaming match, maybe getting nose to nose. I don't see anyone punching each other.
You know what's crazy? Before that even happened, like an inning before that, because McNeil I'm actually wearing McNeil All-Star Game jersey right now from, I don't know what year this is, but it's the sleeveless one. I don't know, whatever. It's got the guitar on the front. Yeah, I don't know. But McNeil, 19. Like an inning before that, he's very animated when he screws up at the plate. Like he hits into a double play, whatever it may be.
No, it's known about his personality.
He gets really pissed off. And then like an inning later, they're fighting each other in the dugout. But it's not like we had like a Bryce Harper situation where he's getting choked out
in the dugout publicly.
In the dugout.
Yeah.
So whatever. It's bad. It's bad optics on TV to see like Conforto stopping his tracks, like, oh shit, I got to go break up the fight.
But like, not only that, but here's the thing: if he says anything like that and whatever, even they get through that interview, every single time that Lindor or McNeil make a misplay in the field or there's a miscommunication, all you're going to hear about is like, well, are you and McNeil okay? Are you fighting? Like, what's that relationship like? Is Lindor toxic? Is McNeil too much of a hothead? Well, Lindor is here for 11 years, so we got to ship McNeil out of New York. Why would they want to deal? And they know that. They're smart people. Jeff McNeil's been in New York long enough. Lindor has been in the spotlight long enough. I know he's new to New York, but like, why would you create that for yourself when you could just be like, we're making a joke of it. We're laughing about it. Yeah. So should you leave it the fuck alone.
Yeah, totally.
Like, it's not your business. We're laughing about it. Relax.
And that's why I went back with the TMZ shit. And then he blocked me. Blocked us. The
it's
7 you know what
so
I mean?
Bizarre.
I shouldn't say me. If you ever seen like the way I write tweets from the 7, I never write I or me.
Yes,
or
it's we.
Like we say this, we think this, whatever it is. Anyway, so let's get off the topic because people are probably tired of it. I was tired of it before I even went to bed on Friday night.
I know. It was a lot.
And it continued all day Saturday.
I will say, on behalf of the journalists, to their credit, I understand as a journalist, when it's your job, I can understand why it's frustrating to not get the facts that you need to complete a story. I get that.
But the facts were obvious.
Right. And also the journalist's job is to communicate information to the fans who want it. And the fans were fine with the story that was given. So Anyway, it's a week old. Let's move on.
It is a week
It was
old.
a raccoon. That is what they're saying.
So the reason why Julia said her chair was a little low, I actually was invited by the Mets to go to Citi Field last Tuesday to try the Polar Burger. And I don't eat meat, number one. And number two, it just didn't really work out my schedule to go to Queens in the middle of the day on a Tuesday. So I didn't go, but I was a part of the Zoom, which actually was your idea.
Yeah, I said, why don't you just ask for the link?
You know, what's funny? Like they were inviting, I don't know how they worked it out, but they were inviting certain people to the ballpark to try the burger.
But it wasn't even in person with Pete. It was all over a Zoom.
Pete was in St. Louis or something. And then try the burger there, but then do a Zoom with Pete. So I don't know. I don't know how they worked it out or where they sat, but I wasn't going to eat the burger anyway. So you were like, why don't you just do the Zoom?
Yeah.
So I did the Zoom from here in your chair. That's why it was lower.
My chair was low when I got here.
But I asked Pete, this is when like the Donnie Stevenson thing was still like the hot topic.
Fresh, yeah.
I didn't say that I'm a vegetarian, but I was like, can you sub out for a Beyond Burger? And he actually wasn't sure right away, but the chef jumped in. He's like, yeah, you can get the Beyond Burger if you want.
Yeah.
And then I followed up with like, I heard Donnie Stevenson's a vegetarian, and Pete's like, absolutely not. He is and
it has since come out that Pete is Donnie Stevenson.
Knew
so
that.
Yeah,
we knew he had something to do with it. He was the first person to mention it. But you did try the Polar Burger.
It was delicious. But so filling, I could not finish it.
And did you notice that when you walked up to the stand to pick it up, that you're spending a penny per calorie because it's 1,600 calories for just the burger?
And the onions.
How's that possible?
I don't know. It's so funny because they show the 3 burgers that are offered there on the screen.
Yeah.
And the calories for one of them is like 600 something. The other one is like 800 something, and it's like 1,640. And I was like, whatever. I've been good this week. I'm treating myself. But I got
that's like a full day of calories.
I know. I couldn't finish it. And I got the onion ring things on the side too. I forget what they were. They were delicious, but total it was like $26, which like I will say it was gourmet food. It was twice as much food as you're getting at Shake Shack. It was delicious.
Like
it was worth it,
which is like expensive on its own.
But if you're not gonna finish it, if you don't have this, like I don't have the stomach to finish that, you're probably better off just getting a Shake Shack burger. But I would highly recommend trying it at least once because it was so good.
So if without looking at the poll, because I did put up a poll this morning, asking fans, it's tough because you probably have voted on polls before that you just want to know what the answer is so far.
Yeah.
So I don't know if all these people tried this burger yet, but a lot of people replied or at least voted on the poll. So the question was, before I show it to you, I don't want you to see the results.
Okay.
If you've tried the Polar Burger, did you? I think it was. Wait, just don't look away.
Okay,
I'm
not looking.
Okay, the options were loved it, was just okay, or not a fan. And 500 people voted. So I guess actually that's less votes than we usually get. So maybe these people actually did try it. So what would you have to say if it was loved it, was just okay, or not a fan? What took the top spot?
Well, I feel like because I'm hyping it up so much, it's probably the opposite of what I said. But I don't know. I feel like maybe people are just going off of like, is it worth the money? Is it worth the calories? As opposed to if it's just a good burger. So I will guess it was one of the not better ones, but I personally loved it.
Well, the 44.8% of the people said that they loved it, but if you add it up, was just okay or not a fan is the majority.
Oh, okay.
So it was just okay was 39.6 and not a fan was 15.7. And if you read the comments here, honestly, you're not going to ever get like a stellar 100% positive reaction on anything you write.
More people are more inclined to comment on something they didn't like to tell you why they didn't like it than if they liked it.
Right, totally. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, if you, like you said, if you want to give it a shot, give it a try. It's certainly worth.
I would try
stop at the ballpark.
It's a novelty item now. It's a Pete Alonso burger. I thought it was really good. It's just huge. Unless you're used to eating 1,600 calories in one sitting, you probably won't finish it. But very delicious, in my opinion.
Delish. So share the show right now if you want to be put in the running for one of these Coors Light sleeveless. It's not sleeveless. It's short-sleeved hoodies, or the tumbler, which some people get confused. It's not just a tumbler. You can unscrew the bottom and slide in a Coors Light seltzer.
It's fancy.
Which is really awesome. So share the show right now to be put in the running. If you're on Facebook, just
post it on your wall.
Post it on your wall. Thanks to Howie for that. And if you're on Twitter, hit the little retweet button. And if you are on YouTube, go to one of those other platforms and do one of those things. That's how you're in the running. Again, this is not like, I don't want to get them in trouble for like from a legal perspective. This isn't like a Coors Light giveaway. It's just they gave us so much stuff to give away at like tailgates, and we're not having tailgates right now. So we're then giving them out to you guys. So shout out to Coors Light for hooking us up. You are going to have to be 21 or over to take part in this. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to send you the winners. We're going to send them, a DM, get your address, your size, make sure you confirm you're 21 and over, and that's how you'll be put in the running. So, what was awesome about the swim up pool in Puerto Rico? They had Coors Light.
Really?
They did have Coors Light. There were, some local.
Oh, they knew
some
you
other
were
beers
coming.
That they had, but they had Coors Light, and I was like, you know what? Got to keep those mountains cold, those mountains blue, and check out these new cans that they got up on. I think they did this last summer as well. But if you go to Drizly, which is where you should go if you don't shop also on Instacart to get your beers delivered. But Drizly has the new photo of the new cans. We have bottles here in the
Yes,
studio,
they did have those last year. I remember because I was saying, they have the new cans with the sunglasses on it that turn gold.
Oh, Big Apple Trivia.
And and everybody was roasting me like, they've had that for years. I'm like, no, they had mountains. Now they have sunglasses.
So make sure the sunglasses or mountains are blue before you crack them open. Make sure they're nice and cold, but always remember to drink responsibly. You can go on drizly.com, type in your address, type in Coors Light, get the beers delivered to you in 60 minutes or less, actually, is what I'm seeing here now, if we were to deliver to 41 Seaver Way. But you can use Drizly or Instacart. Always remember to celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company in Golden, Colorado. We did talk about last week, and I was like, we're going to start doing all these fun things with Coors Light, which we are.
Okay.
But maybe not tomorrow or the next day, but we are going to do some stuff with them soon. If you haven't heard, the vaccinated section seating chart came out.
Did hear that.
And the Big Apple Reserve was selected as one of them, which I am very happy about.
It's the only field level section.
Yes.
And it makes sense because it's closed off from all the other sections.
I don't think that's the only reason. So if you look at it now, I got the seating chart up here. If you're listening afterwards, go on, watch the show or check out our social media here. But if you look at it, you're correct. The only sections on the field level that are vaccinated only or vaccinated sections are the Big Apple Reserve and these upper deck ones. And I was reading some comments from some fans, wondering why. And I haven't asked them that's why yet, but you have to think about what sections don't have season ticket holders in it.
True.
There are no season ticket holders in the Big Apple Reserve. It was basically built with groups in mind.
Right. And I know the 7 line has season tickets, but it's technically not season ticket holders.
No, it's a 10-game plan.
Yeah.
Where you get the same seat for every game. Usually you get the jersey and so on and so forth. Pre-game option, pre-sale options for the road games. Like we give perks to the members. Now this year obviously is much different. So we have the option to purchase tickets if you want to go. If you don't want to go, money stays in your account. Roll it over to 2022 or use it to purchase other seats in the ballpark. Right. So you're not, forced to get a vaccine if you don't want a vaccine.
Let me ask you, the people who are unvaccinated, they can use the credits on their account to buy tickets in other sections.
Yeah.
Oh,
so the credits are already in there. Like let's say you didn't want to go to the game on this past Saturday and you don't want to go to the game on May 29th. You could then use your credit and go buy a ticket to anywhere else. It's up to you. So it's like it's a win-win for everyone.
I feel like that was inevitable then at that point.
And it's the best case scenario. Yeah. So it's like, listen, again, we're not telling I would suggest to get the vaccine if you want to. If you don't want to, you're anti whatever, that's your decision. I'm not trying to change your mind, but if you want to sit with us, you're going to need it. So it's like, I don't know, if you feel like the sitting with us is so important that
they are adding these incentives. You get one in the subway now, you get a free subway ride. So
no, really?
Yeah, they started doing vaccines in the subway, and if you get your vaccine at a subway session,
people are peeing on the floor and you get a shot.
A whole other question. But if you get one there, you can get like 10 free rides or something. I don't know. They're like everyone is incentivizing it. So not that this was the 7 Lions idea, but if you want to see it as an incentive to get vaccinated, so be it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So the subway is gross.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
And they're doing it at like all the biggest stations too, like Penn Station, Grand Central.
Maybe I hope it's like a little kiosk you walk in and they clean it every, whatever.
Lord knows, but they're
it's like, let me go get a tattoo in like Grand Central Street.
Who wants to like voluntarily get stabbed at Penn Station with anything? I don't know, but whatever.
That's insane. Shout out to Justin Yu. You saw that?
I did. What was he, like the 100?
Was it? I think it was a 10,000 shot at Citi Field.
So cool.
And Justin Yu is now a piece of history because he got this custom jersey that said "U" on the back, YU, and 10K. I think it said because they couldn't fit 10,000. Right. But I gave him a shout out on our social media.
That's so cool.
Which is, I wrote "You gotta believe," like YU gotta believe, and then the comment section of anything this shouldn't be so controversial is a cesspool.
It's a cesspool. It's just brain dead humans.
Someone wrote, easy way for the Mets to make more money. And I wrote back like, the shots are free.
What do you?
The shots are free, and they're giving you a free ticket to a baseball game if you get a shot at Citi Field.
I'm sorry. The levels people will go to hate science.
But not only, no, it's not science. It's just people are stupid.
I know.
Like I'm sure people are watching this right now that are stupid as well.
Yeah.
Keep
watching. Share the show.
No, I'm meaning like people who hate us. Not the people who like us.
I know.
Not the fact checkers. I'm talking about the people that watch our shit just to hate on stuff that we say.
Absolutely.
Like the guy who said that you laugh too much or something.
Ha ha ha.
But yeah, it is what it is.
Now.
So that's the deal. The way we're working it is we have 600. That's another thing. I don't know if you know this. So it is a vaccinated only section, but it's not 100% capacity.
Okay.
So the Mets are still keeping the pods. But instead of, because they want people to feel comfortable as we ease back into this.
Sure.
So they are still going to have pod seating, but instead of it being 6 feet of distance between the pods, it's a minimum of 1 seat between. So let's say you buy a seat.
I like space.
You want the extra leg room.
I'm happy with that. Fine by me.
And as a 6'2" man, I don't mind it either.
Yeah. Give me an extra seat for my bag.
Lizzie checking in. He got the 100,000th shot.
It was 100,000.
Not the 10,000th shot.
Wow.
And shout out to Rebecca Graziano for also fact checking us. I love the fact checkers. So one seat between each pod.
Love that. Keep it forever.
And that drops us down to like 500 and something available, 580 something available seats.
Okay.
Before we had 200.
Right.
So we're almost tripling.
You're almost there. So how does it work now in terms of who gets to go? Is it still in like first come, first serve order?
First come, first serve for the members. We have 602 members. There are obviously a bunch of members who don't have the vaccine or don't want the vaccine or whatever. So then, we'll see in 2022, I guess.
That's true, yeah.
So that automatically lowers the number. So everyone who is vaccinated that is a member already will have the option to sit with us.
I don't think you'll have an issue in getting everyone in there with, I'm sure there is a bunch of people who are still unvaccinated. So
yeah. And, it's also is it 3 weeks between shots?
2, I think. I think it's like 2.5.
2 weeks after your last shot is when you're free to.
No, I'm pretty sure it's 2 weeks in between.
Okay, so then basically you need a month.
Yeah.
So if you get your shot today, then 2 weeks later, and then 2 weeks after that, so they'd miss the next game. But if you're a fan out there, I actually said to Justin Brew on opening day, because he's like, "When can I sit with you guys again?" I was like, "I don't know, next year."
Yeah.
Like he's not a member this year.
Yeah.
So I told him he had to wait till next year. I know he's vaccinated, so like people can start coming to sit with us again, single game ticket buyers.
Yeah.
Which is great.
If there's enough open seats.
So, hopefully soon we're back out there with, not hopefully, we will be back out there with 600 fans just under on May 29th.
Wow.
So it's still, that section holds 859. So it's going to look almost
but
full.
Still, it's exciting.
So that's that's something to celebrate because, when we first started the show back up, I wasn't sure if we were going to go back at all after opening day. What's going to happen? Maybe they're going to start letting fans in and realize maybe this wasn't the best idea.
Yeah.
But now that we're getting back to it, I feel like things are rapidly happening.
I know.
I didn't think I'd have my shot by now. You probably didn't think so either.
No, I definitely didn't. I think I was going to get it by like my birthday. I thought I was going to get it by like my birthday, but I think I read this. I think it's the Phillies are aiming to get back to full capacity by like June, which is crazy. And like that's another NL East team. So you'd have to think, I know every state is different. It goes by what the state is mandating, but I'd have to think New York would get back to that soon after.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
So yeah, my biggest concern from a fan's standpoint going into this season was we finally have a great team that is capable of making the playoffs, and then we go to the playoffs and like nobody's allowed to be there.
Right.
So part of me is like, I'm trying to temper my expectations, but I am starting to get excited. We have won 7 in a row. We're in first place. Fans are allowed back at the stadium. It might actually be very exciting come October, but who knows? We have a lot of season left. So
there's also like a guys, if you're a part of this like Facebook, I think Indart made this Facebook group.
Everyone blame Andrew for
so there's this Facebook group that I think it's like you have to be invited or admitted into it. We have a forum.
I muted it the second I was added.
The 7 Line has a forum that's free. Anyone can join it. Go on the forum, and that's how you could like talk to each other about like tickets, yada yada. There's like a members group on Facebook, which I don't even admin it.
Yeah.
But like people go on there and write stuff that instead of just asking us directly, like, or hey, let me email you and ask a question. I'll just ask these other people who
might know
don't know the answer. They don't know the answers yet. So either email us directly if you want answers, or join the forum if you want to trade tickets, yada yada. But this Facebook group, that I don't know, I don't even look at it. But anyway, so Pittsburgh, speaking of vaccinations, 100%.
Yeah.
Our first away game. Well, we've canceled 2 already. Tampa, which is this weekend, canceled.
Sad.
Then the one after that was DC. We canceled that. The third one on the away schedule is Pittsburgh in July 17th.
Oh.
So that one's still on right now.
Okay.
But we normally have to sell the tickets at least 2 months before the game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're in the same boat as the other teams. So we can't sell them 2 months out because they're not sure what the restrictions are going to be yet for July.
Right.
The good thing is they're hoping that after the All-Star break, they're 100%, which is when our game lands.
And also, the majority of the people going this would be coming from New York or the New York area. That's not a place you need a plane to get there. It's not like you need to book a flight in advance. Totally. So
I think I might fly though, because last time I drove,
but I could not believe you came on that trip. Wasn't that right after Amelia was born?
Yeah, but I mean, it's at the time it's like the away games, I have to be at the away games.
I know.
The home ones, they're like a fine-tuned machine by now. Like I can miss over home game, not that I want to, but if things happen, like I planned a race from Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
Thinking like, all right, these aren't really outings.
Right.
But now that like there's an outing on the 29th, I kind of feel like I have to be there, especially now that it's like open capacity again. But like we plan to go with the camper with Amelia and Kelly to this race.
Yeah.
And now it's like, shit, if I don't go to the race, if I don't go to the game, am I like a bad, like,
I don't think you're a bad anything.
Well, you know what I mean? Like I've made plans, like the world stopped. I made plans, you know, but anyway, so, the Pittsburgh game, the cool part about it is we were going to be sitting in the left field bleachers.
Okay.
Which, did you go to Milwaukee with us?
No.
It was so fucking hot.
I know, I heard.
In Milwaukee, it was bleachers as well. And I think they had seat numbers, but we didn't follow it. We're basically like, you have a ticket with us, sit wherever you want.
Yeah.
So that's how it works in Pittsburgh. Because I said to him yesterday, we were emailing back and forth. I'm like, how are you keeping people in pod seating in bleachers with no seat backs?
Yeah.
There's nothing to zip tie closed like Citi Field. People go down and do whatever they want. He wrote back to me. He's like, good question. He's like, I guess the ushers are kind of just doing their thing.
Yeah.
But if they're 100% capacity come July 17th, the easiest thing on our plate will be that we don't have to do a seating chart. Well, basically tell everyone there are 10 season ticket holders out there, I think, Pittsburgh fans. And he said they'll probably offer them like better seats for the day.
Okay.
We could take over the whole thing.
Oh, 10's an easy
then
number to
I'll
work
write to people like, listen, there are seat numbers on your ticket, but don't be a stickler.
Yeah.
We aren't going to adhere to these rules. Sit wherever you want, basically.
Right.
If you want to sit with your friend, you feel comfortable sitting with whoever, let's do that. So that's the story for July 17th.
So let me ask you, I mean, I guess it's up to Pittsburgh, but would that have to be a fully vaccinated section as well? Is that what they're planning? Is like,
he didn't say that.
Okay.
I think they're just going to open up 100%. I mean, probably still have to wear your masks, like still stuff like that, I'm sure. I don't see masks going away anytime soon.
Me either.
I think that, remember when like SARS, I don't even know if SARS is still a thing, but like SARS was the thing and people wearing masks and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe you don't remember, but like, down like near Chinatown and stuff and Manhattan and things, people were always wearing their masks. It was like, oh, that's like, we'd almost like not laugh at them, be like, oh, we'll never have to go wear a mask and walk around. Now everyone's wearing a mask. I don't see masks going away, even when we're told you don't have to wear them anymore. I think
a lot of
wear
people
them
still will. Yeah, I agree. And
especially people with mangled teeth are going to be like, fuck it, I'm still wearing my mask.
People who are, no, I'm not going to say that, but no, I agree. I think me personally, I hope I don't know if I've said this on the show before because I know I've said it out loud, but like, I hope it never goes away where if you are feeling sick or under the weather and you need to leave your home and go out in public, I hope masks stay forever. I hope it is now like a thing that if you're sick and you need to be, because I was the healthiest I have been all year because people learn how to keep their freaking germs to themselves. So people
are just rude though. I think that no matter what, they're like, fuck it, I'm going out anyway.
I know, but you know what? We know you all have masks now. Yeah. We all know you have them. If you have a cold and you need to go to CVS, put your freaking mask on. Yeah. It's the polite thing to do. But
yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I don't know. So like a lot of people were complaining like, oh, they picked the worst seats for the vaccinated sections, like the big upper deck or the faraway upper deck and the Big Apple Reserve. And like you said, we are the only field level seat now that it's vaccinated only. But like, those that are complaining, like you said, you like the extra leg room anyway. No one's telling you can't go to a game and sit in 109, like or whatever the sections are near the dugout.
Right,
you could do that and get the extra leg room. So for us, it works because we're a group,
right? And
like we're a group and we have 600 members, and now every member can go. So if you like that, cool. If you don't, then we'll see you in 2022. But it is what it is. So I was looking in the comments here. Something caught my eye for a second. Oh, someone was asking about the forum. If you go to the 7line.com and scroll to the bottom, there's a button that just says forum, I think. Click that and join. It's free. And there's a whole bunch of different like topics like travel tips or buy and sell tickets or general questions. And
it's really good for if you have tickets that you're trying to sell.
Yeah. Again, I don't really go on there and monitor that either, but at least that's like thousands of people are on that, not these like 200 people on Facebook, which like we talked about, I wouldn't even have Facebook if it wasn't for the brand, and neither would you if you weren't out there doing your thing, you know?
Oh, wait, I do want to say really quickly, I did the coolest thing ever this week, in my opinion. Shout out to our friend Mike Mary, who invited me to speak over Zoom to his 4th grade class for like a virtual career day.
I love it.
As somebody who like owned their own business, which is just like so wild. I mean, you probably got this feeling too, like before you were licensed, and like now you're clearly like a professional, whatever. But like,
oh, thank you.
You are. It's a compliment. But like before, when you're just like kind of like running a business, do you ever just like see people you graduated high school with who are like lawyers or doctors and just like think people like look down on you because you don't have like a job that has whatever? And I always kind of like still have that. I'm like, somebody asked me to talk at a career day.
That's
like
awesome.
It just made me feel really good. So thank you, Mike. It was a lot of fun.
You don't need that valid. You're very successful,
I know.
And especially at your age, it's unbelievable. Like I was doing nothing at your age.
Shut up.
I was just getting drunk, bartending, and hanging out.
Well, I'm doing that too. Well, I'm not bartending, but I am getting drunk.
Speaking of high school, you're only like not even far removed from high school, but I'm still friends with some people on Facebook that are, you know, Facebook friends from high school.
Yeah.
That I don't really like. I'm not friends with them, but you get the request and you feel weird saying no.
Yeah.
People have let themselves go.
Oh, for sure. Even at my age, for sure, people have let themselves go.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's like you see, like, oh, that was like one of the most attractive people in my class, and now they're like wrecks.
It's so satisfying.
Guys and girls. I'm not talking about women. Like,
I know.
In general.
No,
like,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. It's just, you can very clear, and you knew when you were in high school the people who were peaking in high school, but it is nice to have that validation to be like, yes, I was right.
Listen, people, get yourself a gallon of water a day.
I'm at the half gallon.
Yeah, it's funny. Julia comes in with this bottle thinking that like she's doing a gallon a day.
No, I always said 64 ounces. It's the half one.
Yeah.
But Lizzie has the bigger version of mine. She is the big girl version.
Especially when you're crushing your Coors Lights, wash them down with some water on top.
This is humiliating. I'm still only at 11 a.m.
Oh my God. Because you get dehydrated from the beers and you want to, you know, balance it out with some water.
Yes,
Lizzie got her water in the background too as well. Water crew over here. Yeah, we're weird. Anyway, so let's talk about Patty Maz.
Oh, my man, Trick.
A trick?
Okay, so when he came up to bat for I think it was that he pinch hit in that game, but it was before the walk-off, and I was saying, I was there with Michelle, Erica, Karen, Kristen. I was like, why do we call people named Patrick Pat? Why doesn't anyone ever call them Trick? Like, it's so much cooler. And I was like, I'm gonna call him Trick from now on. And then he got the walk-off hit. I'm like, he's Trick forever. So to me, I mean, I know all of his like social media is Patty Maz, but to me, he's just Trick.
I've never heard that. Does anyone ever?
I don't think anyone does, but never, which is why it's mind blowing because Trick is such a cool nickname.
I don't know if that was like a Taylor Swift crew, like a Swiftie thing or something to call people tricks. I don't know.
No, I just think like Trick is such a cool nickname, and it is literally a trick that he has 2 walk-off hits or 2 walk-offs without actually having a
walk-off fielder's choices.
Exactly, that is a trick in and of itself. So
that's
unbelievable. Me, he is Trick.
So you heard the stats, and the broadcast talking about him, how he's friendly with Jacob DeGrom. They both graduated from Stetson. And
helps Jeff McNeil with his swing. Yeah.
And he catches DeGrom in the offseason when they're warming up and getting ready for the season.
Little unicorn that came out of nowhere. Right. Amazing.
They got to keep him around.
I know.
And as long as they keep this 7-game win streak going, he's got to stay up.
And I told you, so I'm wearing this shirt while I still can because I really thought that the shirtless walk-offs were going to be a thing like just for 2019. Yeah. But now they're coming back. So if Trick gets one more, I will have a shirt entirely of shirtless Trick. So
see if you can get that made by
I will 100%.
It's already Thursday. I keep feeling like it's Monday because it's my first day back at work. But yeah, we're going to be back on Monday for our next episode. But yeah, try to get a shirt made up.
I will do it.
Do you remember the day after the walk-off when Conforto got his jersey ripped? Who was it? Who else hosted bingo with you? She filled in sometimes.
Chelsea?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Did you see what she made?
No, what?
So the day after, we had a tailgate the day after that. I guess it was a Friday night when Conforto had his jersey ripped off. The next day was an outing. She was at the tailgate party with a ripped up Conforto jersey.
Oh, that's so
very
sick.
Smart, very topical. It was like the next day she had
That's so
she
cool.
cut it up and stuff. I think it was a Conforto jersey too.
That's awesome. Shout out to Chelsea.
Maybe it wasn't because I can't picture someone wanting to ruin a jersey.
It might have been like
a Mets jersey.
It could have been like a replica.
Yeah.
So but that's awesome.
She was rocking that at the tailgate. So
I love
as long as they keep winning, and in like their outfits yesterday were incredible, right?
Oh yeah.
So you guys probably saw this. They were all
very
impressed. I should have zoomed this in before I saved it, but if you check out pretty much any of the players' social media that's on social, they all posted some sort of photo of their like beach attire,
beach day getaway.
You know what? If the freaking button-ups were here by yesterday, I would have like outfitted the team in those button-ups.
That would have been perfect.
Was a big hit there in Puerto Rico, which all over the map today. Puerto Rico, big Mets fans down there.
Yeah.
Lindor,
Oh yeah,
Carlos
yeah.
Beltran, Carlos Delgado,
Mhm.
Diaz. Like it's like I was wearing my Mets stuff.
Yeah.
People were like really excited. So I feel
Oh,
like Puerto Rico is a Mets place.
that's awesome.
Absolutely. So I saw your very dramatic Matt Harvey tweets yesterday.
It's not dramatic, it's justified. It was dramatic.
Shout out to all you dads out there because Father's Day is coming up.
Yes.
And you definitely want to go get your hands on some dugout mugs. So go to dugoutmugs.com, use the promo code 7line7, the number 7, LINE, and get 35% off any of their MLB collection stuff. So the mugs, the shots, the bottle openers, any of that stuff. If you look here and you're watching live right now, there's a promo code on the top for 30% off, but ours is even better. So definitely pick up some stuff for Father's Day. They do have these awesome mugs that you can get engraved. The promo code doesn't work on that, but your dad's probably worth the extra bucks there.
For sure.
Definitely go check them out. They're the only bat mugs with the MLB license. They got the PA license. They got the Cooperstown license. They got a whole bunch of stuff. So click on the button that says see the MLB collection. Pick the team. I'm hoping you're going to pick the Mets. And then scroll through all the different stuff that they have available. 35% off. Use the promo code 7line, number 7, LINE. Big friends of the brand. They're down in Florida. They do great work. Big baseball fans. And they won't let you down, so go check them out. So, Matt Harvey, as I'm boarding the plane yesterday, we're walking through, which I thought we were going to miss the plane, by the way.
Ooh.
And then Kelly almost killed somebody by accident. So we'll get to that in a second. We're going through the corral and trying to get through security. And it was like every terminal, every airline was using like the same area to walk through. And I was like, shit, we're going to miss the plane.
Yeah.
I was keeping track on the MLB at Bat app. I know Harvey had like a 1, 2, 3 first. And then, he started getting beat up a little bit.
Yeah.
But you were like tweeting that you would die for him or something.
I would die for Matt Harvey. He gave his physical health for us. Take mine. No, I love Matt Harvey. It's very much that, everybody has the players that when they were young, when they rooted for them, they're always going to have that more emotional attachment as opposed to a rational one. And I was like in Harvey's peak, I was the ages of like 17 to 20, which is just such a fun time to be a young baseball fan. It's like you're old enough to drive to the games. You can sneak into bars and watch at sports bars, but like you still have like not enough real life things to do where you can revolve your life around baseball. And Matt Harvey was just like it was an event every time he pitched. Harvey days are like part of my upbringing. I feel like it was a thing. Like, and again, like Jacob deGrom is obviously the better pitcher, but I still don't even think deGrom days have the hype that Harvey days do because he was like a unicorn at the time. He was like the only thing we had. So I love Matt Harvey. I know he had, the big time personality. He was dating supermodels. He missed practices. He did a lot of things to hurt himself.
You heard him afterwards though?
Yeah. And he owned up to it.
I was like I couldn't get out my own way or my own worst enemy, whatever he wrote. Mm-hmm. But he seemed very mature yesterday,
Absolutely.
which was like the first time we heard him be that open and kind of honest. Because before, I'll never forget the line he had in the I don't know if it was a 30 for 30, but whatever it was about the Dark Knight Rising, whatever. Uh-huh. I don't think it was a 30 for 30. Or ESPN put it together, but he's like, I have one father. Like he basically, I'm not listening to the Mets. Like I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna bet on myself to make that $200 million. Whatever the hell.
I remember it was he also said something. Somebody asked him about getting him a car or something. He's like, I'll wait for the $200 million contract to do that. And it was
so cocky.
But you loved it at the time. It was freaking awesome when he could back it up. Right. And like, I mean, people just somebody said this yesterday, but I forget. It was almost like people took satisfaction in his downfall because it seemed like there was a reason for it in that, it's because you were cocky. It's because you got too ahead of yourself. He had major surgery after major surgery. You all were pissed at him when he said he wasn't going to go past his innings limit after Tommy John to pitch in the postseason, and he did it anyway. And then he was never the same. He had the thoracic outlet surgery, which not a lot of people do well after. Like, it's all very logical. The reason Matt Harvey fell apart was because of injuries. It wasn't because he was too cocky. It was because his body betrayed him. David Wright did the same thing, but David Wright was more humble. So people are able to rationalize it was his body. But no, I love Matt Harvey. I know he had the big personality, but I think the Mets fans who dislike him need to get over themselves because he is forever going to be a huge part of Mets history. And that's my rant.
Well, absolutely. And I 100% agree with everything you said. I think that, time heals all wounds. And, you may have been upset that, Harvey acted the way he did and so on and so forth. But now it's water under the bridge. It's kind of like everyone hated Bartman in Chicago. Then they won the World Series and it's like, all right, we'll give the guy a pass now.
Yeah.
But, I'm sure he wishes things went differently. I'm sure he wishes that now that the Mets are, they have a new owner, they have, some youth, they got Lindor, DeGrom now. I'm sure he wishes he was still pitching with us.
I mean, do you hear him say yesterday that he was like holding back tears?
Yeah.
I was holding back tears, not
surprised.
for me, but no, like I was really putting myself in his shoes. Like, can you imagine that moment where like, this is where you were on top of the world? Like literally you were the biggest thing in New York, and to come back there kind of like a shell of your former self and like not know if these people are going to like you, and to hear them cheer for you just like they did 5 years ago, however many it was, like, that's so emotional.
It's funny. I saw a couple of funny tweets yesterday, but one was, it's a noon start and Harvey's actually there. Like Harvey's awake and he's pitching and it's noon.
Cheap.
But check out this one from Mark at Too Good in 17. Matt Harvey got a nice ovation here at Citi Field. I guess all the losers and haters in my mentions who said they would boo him couldn't afford tickets.
Oh, I love it.
Because it's the internet. It's the same thing. The internet gives everyone a platform, whether they're like yesterday, the guy that called the 7 line, we sold out. And then I was like, well, it's been 13 years now. I've been doing this 8 seasons with the license, and it was successful enough to get to the point it's been. Still 100% owned, still operated by Mets fans, manufactured in New York as much as we can. Not everything comes from here, but as much as we can. We're operated
making
here.
That coin selling out.
And now it's selling out, but whatever. He deleted the tweet, by the way. You freaking loser. Anyway, so yeah, that's the story with that. And, nothing but love for Harvey. I wish things went differently.
Yeah.
I saw the people chiming in yesterday saying, if we obviously don't want this to happen because we want the Mets to have success, but
of course,
let's say we need an extra arm at the trade deadline.
You're right.
And he turns it around. Are we going to get a Matt Harvey reunion?
You know what? I don't think it's fair to put all that pressure on him, because people know what he is now, but he would still come back to New York and people would still expect him to be the Dark Knight from 2015, which he's just not going to be.
No,
what I really do hope is when he decides to retire, I hope he retires as a Met. I think he should. You
know what's crazy before we move on from this? Being a Mets fan, you get like a front row seat to like medical school too, because we wouldn't know what thoracic outlet syndrome is. We wouldn't know what valley fever is. We wouldn't know what like any of this stuff is if we were not Mets fans.
Yeah.
So thanks to them for that.
No, absolutely.
All right. So we got to give a shout out also to our friends at Project Repat, because if you're not following their Instagram account, you're really missing out. All you got to do is go to Project Repat USA on Instagram, follow the account, and then you're automatically put in the running to win one of their t-shirt quilts.
Oh, look at the baby.
Look at the little kid.
So cute.
You probably won't get it in time for Father's Day, but like we talked about on Mother's Day as well, you could purchase, put it in a card, say it's on the way, and obviously you can't pick the shirts for them, so this is even better as a gift. So go to Project Repat and check that out, but definitely go follow their Instagram account. They have 206,000 followers. They have over 500,000 happy customers, and they're made by hand in North Carolina and Texas. You just send them what you want, and they cut them up and sew them up and stitch them together. So make great gifts for you or a loved one. If you want to buy yourself the gift, or you want to buy a friend a gift or a family member. Also, if you go to their site, if you go to their website, you can also get 15% off by entering your email address, and you're automatically put on their mailing list, I guess. And then that's how you get your discount. So hit them up, check them out. Great friends of the show, and a lot of happy customers out there. And don't forget, if you want to be a part of their contest, you got to make sure you're wearing something Mets related, so they know who they're going to select. Yes. So hopefully after you win, you show off what you got, and we'll be happy to show it off here on the show. So
absolutely.
Don't forget also, we are giving away that stuff from Coors Light. This is not a Coors Light promotion. This is an us promotion. They gave us some stuff that we were going to give out at tailgates, and now we're just giving it to you guys instead, because we are not tailgating yet. So share the show and get put in the running to win some free stuff from them. We appreciate Coors Light more than they can even imagine. We love the beers. We love the merch, and can't wait to get all of our stuff cracking with you guys that I still can't talk about. But I promise it's going to be awesome.
One of these days.
Before we go, I want you to spill the tea a little bit on some drama, because I was looking on the internet. Hopefully I could scroll back and pull it up.
Oh,
Can you give the people a little gist of what I'm talking about?
I'm just going to say, Darren is the one who wants to publicly get into this mess, but okay.
It's not really a mess. I think it's
no,
hilarious.
It's beautiful mess. It's the definition of mess.
Screenshot it? I'm going to find it.
I screenshot. You go to like photos and it should show up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but anyway. So for those of you, I need to background with just what the drama is in general. For those of you who don't know, Noah Syndergaard used to date a girl called Alex Cooper. You may know her from the very popular Barstool podcast, Call Her Daddy, which is a sex relationship podcast, which she frequently alludes to Noah on.
By the way, Kelly was listening to that the other day, and as I walked in, she was listening to it in the kitchen. I'm like, what are you listening to? I didn't even know she listened to it.
Raunchy.
Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, but so it was years ago they dated. They broke up. I remember Noah had made a pretty dramatic tweet about how he was single now and focused on baseball or whatever.
He posted
and,
a photo that said like, it was like in a relationship or single, and he like circled single.
Yeah. Like he kind of started whatever. So Alex did this podcast with a girl named Sophia Franklin. They were best friends, roommates, lived together. I think it was over the summer. Sometime last year, they had a huge falling out over. They were negotiating their new contracts with Barstool, and there was, I don't know, backstabbing of some sort. And I won't get into all drama, but they very publicly ended their friendship. Do not talk. Alex now does the podcast on her own. Sophia does another one not affiliated with Barstool. And it's also very well known, I think, that Alex and Noah do not get along, whatever. And so I was just scrolling through my Instagram feed on Mother's Day or the day after Mother's Day, and I saw Noah's lovely Mother's Day post to his mom, and I see Sophia Franklin commented a heart, which is very, just is ex-best friend's ex-boyfriend, from Noah's perspective, ex-girlfriend's ex-best friend. And then it went even further. And I don't know if you have this screenshot, because somebody sent it to me, but Sophia had posted a photo of herself in a bathing suit, and he did like a drooling eyes emoji. It's petty.
Yeah, I got that too.
It's petty drama. It's so much happened with the Mets this week. I cannot even believe we're giving this time, but
because it's funny.
It is fun. I think it's complete savagery on both of their parts. Like, I have nothing against Alex Cooper or anything. I just think it's funny. It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
and
it is.
I wish them well.
I love internet shit like this,
because you just know now that this is circulating, Alex is going to have something to say about it, and I cannot freaking wait. I love mess when it's not my mess.
It's almost the kind of thing like the road I take with some stuff, like, some clowns that were doing their thing like a month ago, which we didn't really want to address on the show.
Yeah,
it's giving more of a platform and like shows that like you care about it. She probably doesn't give a shit. She's like, she's the shit. She's like killing it with Barstool. She's like, I'm over it.
I agree, but I still, I was like scrolling just because, again, I love mess. I scrolled through her Twitter account like the other day, and she had retweeted. It was something that she was doing with Dave Portnoy, whatever, like I don't know, podcast of sorts. And like she had literally like alluded to Noah, like she still talks about him.
Right.
And like, again, like it's her ex-boyfriend, and I'm very much a believer in, you own your own experiences. You can talk about whatever the fuck you want that happened to you. I'm not saying anything, but like if she still mentions him, I cannot imagine that this just flies under the radar.
So Ephraim Shapiro wants to know if this is the 7-liner, page 6, and it's a combination.
Great question. Darren was the one who wanted to talk about this.
It's a combination of both. Yeah, because I'm the 40-year-old man who cares about this shit on the internet. I thought it was funny, but
it is funny.
We do have to get to last week's share contest winners.
Post it on your wall. Post it on your wall.
The remix.
Yeah, remix. Shout out to Howie. So if you did post it on your wall last week, the Twitter winner is at Sahara El Desert.
Oh,
awesome name there on Twitter. And on Facebook, it is Carlos Manuel Guerrero. And I promise I will be in contact with you guys, which I actually have been pretty on top of it.
Proud of you.
And I will hook you guys up with that free stuff from Coors Light. You do have to be 21 or over. This is not a sponsored thing from them. It's a sponsored thing from us. We're just hooking you guys up. So shout out to you guys. If you want to come and cheer with us, we are going to start filling the section back up as much as we can.
Get those shots.
Get back to our thing.
Is this the long one? It's the long one.
All right, guys. Happy Thursday. Mets are off tonight. Tell your friends about the show. If you're listening afterwards as a podcast, make sure you subscribe, share if you're watching on the other platforms, and enjoy your weekend. Hopefully, we're talking about 10 straight victories on Monday.
Let's go.
As the Mets go down to Tampa and sweep the floor with the Rays. If you are going to the game, let's hear you loud and clear on SNY. I know the echoes in the Trop travel very far, so let's hear you back in New York. So anything else you want to say?
Let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets. See you guys next week on Monday. And that's it.
Bye.
Put it in the box.
Thank you. Don't leave me hanging this time.
See you guys.
Bye.